how to become more stoic. So, for those of you who don't know what the word stoic means, I'll read it to you. You can get this straight off of Google. A person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. Right? There's a lot of reasons why people want to become stoic, you know. Especially men. A lot of men are getting into this becoming stoic thing. One thing I'll say is this. The more emotional you are, the more you react to your emotions, the less likely people are going to take you seriously. This is just basic psychology. The more logical you are, the more rational you are, the more people take you seriously. When you can think straight and you don't react based off of your emotions. Not saying that it's bad or stupid to have emotions. I'm not saying that. It's just psychology. When you are serious, when you are logical, people take you seriously. So, there was a time in my life where I was not stoic at all. Well, I wouldn't say at all, but I was less stoic. Pretty emotional guy. I would get nervous around people, large groups of people. If I was communicating to a beautiful woman, I'd get nervous around a beautiful woman. And being stoic, this can apply to both men and women. A lot of men are trying to figure out how to become stoic, but no, a woman can be stoic as well. A woman can be logical. She doesn't have to only react off of her emotions, which a lot of men think. But there was a time in my life where I was very emotional. But over time, it changed. Now, I want to read something else to you. Now, look, I understand. Not everybody agrees with the Bible. But I'm going to read something from the Bible that this can apply to anyone, whether you believe in God or not. Let me just read this to you. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. So, when you endure trials, you become more stoic. You become more mature. Now, let me share something with you, a story. One time, someone called me the N-word. I've had people call me the N-word so many times in my life. I was working a job. I was a security guard outside of a bank, Wells Fargo Bank. And this was in 2020, when everybody had to wear masks and stuff. And that sickness was going around. During that time, people had to wait outside. And because we couldn't have too many people inside the building. So I had to be outside in the heat. And this guy wanted to come in. And we were just closing up. We were helping our last customers. So we had a line, but I had to stand at the end of the line to make sure that no one else entered the line because we were closing the store, or closing the bank. A older white gentleman came up. Gentleman. I don't know. He wasn't a gentleman necessarily. Comes up and says to me, "Hey, can I get in line?" I say, "Sir, the bank's closing." He's like, "Oh, come on, man. Just let me. Just let me in. Just me." And I'm like trying to explain to him, if I let you in, other people who see you enter the line and I let you in, they're all going to want to come in and the bank's never going to close. Because more people, it was like around 5 o'clock and, everybody's getting off work. People need to go to the bank. So if I let this guy in, more people are going to want to show up. So I just told him, I can't let you in, man. I can't let you in. So he insisted, and then I insisted, and he got irritated. He hops into his vehicle. And as he's driving off, he shouts at me and calls me the N-word. He says, "F you, N-word." And all these people are standing around. And they see this happen. And they all turn around and look at me. And you could just tell people are just like, ooh, And I'm black. So I'm supposed to react and get mad because someone called me the N-word, right? And I know a lot of other guys, they would have reacted. I didn't react at all. even in front of a bunch of people. And I say this because that might not be a big deal to a lot of people, but to some other people, this is a big deal. And this is why you need to learn to become stoic. Because I stood there stoic. How did that happen? Did his words affect me? It didn't affect me necessarily. It was kind of like, wow, it's unfortunate. Why would someone call you that? But I knew in my mind, the people that are around here who just saw that happen, they just want to see me react emotionally. They want to see me get angry for their entertainment. They don't care. They don't care. And this happens all the time. Not just some dude right driving off. People get into fights because someone called them a name. They insulted them, called them the N-word, called them something, some racist term or word or whatever. And people want to pull their phones out and see something happen so that they can upload it on the internet, put it on a World Star, put it on Instagram, TikTok video, and get some clout. It was funny. Somebody gets into a fight, someone gets knocked out, someone's in a hospital, and it all happened for everybody else's entertainment. I've been in situations where people wanted to fight. I've stopped people from fighting. And being a security guard, I've had people threaten to kill me. I've had people pull knives on me. I've had people threaten to shoot me. All kinds of stuff. And a lot of times, especially men, they react emotionally to these situations because you need to show people that you're tough. So if someone calls you a name, you got to go over there and show them that you're tough. And stand up, and then other people are like, oh man, you ain't gonna do nothing, man. You just gonna let them say that to you? You gonna let them talk about your mama? You gonna let them? And all people want is for you to overreact for their entertainment. And I know this in my head. So I am willing. So look, I'm not saying if you're in a situation where you absolutely have to fight, don't fight. No, I'm saying, look, I know how to look at someone dead in the face. They can insult me, and I just look at them like this. Unfazed. Don't even care. Because I can tell they're just trying to get me to react. And people who are irritated, people who have anger problems, they got to react. So one of the benefits of being stoic is it actually protects you. You know why? Because when you react emotionally, a situation will escalate that didn't need to be escalated. Someone gets knocked out, someone gets shot, something bad happens, the police gets called, all because someone called someone a name. So that's one reason to be stoic, is because it protects you. Another reason to be stoic, you don't have to be nervous around people. Dude, being stoic is not a bad thing. I'd say this. You have stoic, and then you have people who are being fake, pretending like they're stoic. Now, being stoic can position you in a way that actually gets you a higher paying job. You know why? When your employer can see, oh, this person doesn't react emotionally to every little situation. They act rationally and logically. They make smart decisions, wise decisions. Even in high intensity moments, you are unfazed. People will look at you and they say, this is a trustworthy man or woman. I was offered to become a manager. I took the position. I was like, I'll take a position as a manager in this security job. But then I found a higher paying job that I didn't have to be a manager. I could just be a regular employee and get paid the same. Actually you get paid even more. But anyways, that's a long story. I don't want to get into all that. But simply because I have control over my emotions. So people think, okay, how do you control your emotions? Well, it's not necessarily like controlling your emotions. One way to become stoic, more stoic, is having awareness of what's happening in your own head. One time, that's one of my friends said that to me. He's like, awareness means that you're paying attention. You're aware of what's happening in your mind when like external things are happening. Like let's say, for example, like a car accident happens. Awareness is you paying attention to how it makes you feel in that moment. You're paying attention, like, okay, you just saw this tragic thing happen. Don't react. Okay, what do we gotta do? Call the police. Call an ambulance. All right, and you're just taking step by step by step. But people who react emotionally, they just go crazy. Something else worse happens because everyone's frantic and running around, whatever it is. And now, look, it's not always in extreme examples such as like a tragedy, but it can even be in going on a date. I used to go on dates with girls, and I'd be so nervous. Like, man, how come when I'm talking to this beautiful woman, I'm just like nervous? Many times a man will get into go on a date with a girl, and he's nervous around her because he's trying to get something from her. He's nervous. He's trying to get laid, or he's trying to get a relationship, rather than, no, pay attention to the thought that came into your head that said that you needed a relationship with a girl. No, you don't need a relationship. Treat this person like a regular person. And let the cards fall, everything go in place where it needs to be. It's such an attractive trait to have, not just for attracting women or women towards men, but also people taking you seriously. You're in general, you are attractive when you are stoic, when you are rational and logical. People can feel like they can trust themselves around you. But the more emotional you are, the more you react emotionally, the less people feel safe around you because they don't know what will make you tick. So that's another benefit of becoming more stoic. Becoming more stoic also, a lot of times people don't know how, when they're asked to do something or asked, hey, you want to go here or do that, or can you do this for me? And you don't want to. But emotionally, you feel like you have to because this is your friend, or you feel obligated to do something for people. Being stoic gives you the ability to say no without reacting emotionally. Another thing is you won't overreact. You're logical and rational. People also are less likely to mess with you when you're stoic. Because, okay, one time I was at this is a silly story, but one time I was at Walmart. I was grocery shopping. This was years ago. And some woman was yelling at a bunch of people. I don't know what was going on. I don't know if this guy cut her in line or so. I don't know what was going on, but she just started screaming and yelling at everybody. And then anybody who was looking at her, she'd be like, what are you looking at? And people are looking at her like, oh, like, sorry, whatever. And she'll walk up to their face boldly. And then, and people start pulling their phones out because, that's what happens. When something crazy happens, people need to record it. So people start pulling their phones out. And the guy that she was initially yelling at, he didn't know what to do because I think she was accusing him of hitting her with his cart or something. And I saw he didn't. It's like I think she just backed into his cart because she had a little electric cart or something like that. But she was yelling at this guy, and I could tell he didn't know what to do. So people were pulling their phones out, and I just stood there with a straight face, stoic. And while anybody who was looking at her, she would yell at. And by the time she looked at me, she went. I could tell she was like gonna say something to me, but I was just like this. She's like, and then she just skipped over me and looked at the next person and just yelled at them. And I was like, oh, okay, the stoicism thing works. People do take you seriously. You look like you're someone not to be messed with. So, anyways, and then that, long story short, that guy, I went up to him and I just said, hey, man, hey, dude, I saw what happened. Just get out of here, bro. Get out of here. Put your phone away. Just get out of here. And he's like, but I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I was like, I know. He's getting emotional. His emotions got him to stay in the situation because he's trying to prove to everybody that he didn't do anything. I saw the situation. Nothing. He didn't do nothing. So he wasn't thinking logically. If he was thinking logically, if he would have been more stoic and paid attention to what was going on in his head, he would have did what I told him to do before I even told him to do it. I walked up to him and I said, "Hey man, just head out. Just leave. You didn't do anything." And he's like, and I'm like, "Just go." All these people though. And I'm like, no one cares. Look, no one's even looking at you. They're all looking at her. Head out, man. So then he was like, wait, you're right. I didn't do anything. These people don't care. Why was I thinking that people cared about what I... So he just walks off and left. And people come up to this woman, all the management people coming over there like, what's going on? What's going on? And they told this lady, you need to get out of her store. You're causing problems. Anyways, when you're more rational and you're logical, you can see clearly what the right thing to do is in the moment. And hey, it's helped in my life. I've seen it help with other people. So being stoic, how do you become more stoic? Learn to endure pain. And I'm talking about emotional pain, not physical pain. But you can try to do it with physical as well, because Jackie Chan, I seen a video of Jackie Chan where he was explaining that when he's doing his karate stuff and he's training, whoever was training him, they would slap his hand or something with a wooden board, and then he'd slap his hand, and he'd be like, ouch, like he'd show pain using his face. You know, his face would react. He'd get hit again, then he's like, ouch. And then his trainer would say, no, try again, dude, don't show pain. So he kept hitting him to eventually he would slam his hand on, slam the wooden board on his fist or something like that, to where eventually Jackie Chan sit there with a straight face. Bam! Endured the pain. And so even in fighting, even in like the UFC, you'll see a dude get kicked. He get kicked in the liver, kicked in his kidney, kicked on the side, and then show no pain. And the people commentating on the fight will say, look, oh man, oh he's feeling that, but you can't see it. Because when you show pain in a fight, the enemy, your attacker, they think that this is their opportunity to take you out. Because you're like, oh, you're hurting. So now they're even more energized. They want to attack even more. That applies in fighting. It applies in psychology, like just basic daily living. When people see that you're emotional, they know that they can take advantage of you. So when you're more stoic and people can tell that you're logical, they're less likely to mess with you, because they're like, okay, this person thinks straight. They see me. When you're logical and rational, you can see a threat that is going to come before it even comes, because you're thinking and you're aware. You can be aware of a threat. You can be aware of people's body language and behavior when you're more stoic. When you're able to endure pain, when you're able to endure nervousness, and pay attention. Why am I nervous? Pay attention to what's going on in your head. So now I feel like I'm repeating myself, but I say all this because people are promoting this message that you need to go and show all your emotions. Like, look, okay, I understand. If you need a therapist or whatever, if you need a friend to talk to because you're emotional or whatever, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. What I am saying is this, is you are more mature when you are able to quietly endure pain patiently and not react. And then figure out in your own mind, why am I feeling this way? Follow me? So, yes, I hope this encourages you. I hope this makes you want to become more logical and rational, less nervous around people. There's so many benefits to it, and I say this so that people learn to be more patient with each other. You know, because you might be in a relationship, a marriage, and maybe your spouse, they do or say things that are offensive, and you know, you need to learn to be patient with your own spouse. And now, obviously, if your spouse is abusing you, call the cops. You know, you got to put that person away. So I'm not saying endure pain if you're being physically abused. But I am saying is if it's like, you know, you're having an argument or something, learn to be patient, endure. Like, be patient with people. Love people. All right? God bless. Oh, watch the next video. The next video will be better than the last one. God bless.